Hey, Eden.
Hey,
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 can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear my partner's about to come on here.
Awesome.
Excited to have you on the show.
I'm excited to finally be on. I know we've been trying to do this for like, what, a year now?
Yeah, literally since what, Orlando, then I think Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so how you been?
I've been really good. How have you been?
Been pretty good, pretty good. Just came from South Carolina taking pictures, and just taking pictures for a construction loan. It's a construction company. So as they build, they want to go ahead and see what the updates are. So now I'm doing a
Awesome.
podcast. Yeah, how was your time with your client just a moment ago?
It was good. Busy as ever, putting out
Yeah.
fires.
Okay. Okay. Hey, how you doing, Bradford?
I'm doing great. It's square pegs and round holes, Eden,
You
or
know?
vice versa. It's a weird market.
Exactly, it is. It's good to meet you, Bradford.
Yeah, nice to meet you. I think we might have bumped into you at one of the conventions, but I know Joshua speaks very highly of you and real excited to have you on this podcast.
For
So
sure, the new
we
construction.
appreciate you jumping in.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome, awesome. So let's get started, y'all. So everybody, welcome to the Dream Builders podcast, where our mission is to help buyers, sellers, agents, nonprofits, and small businesses reach the resources and knowledge to achieve their goals. Again, we have a special guest, Eden Jeffery, with Sold by Eden, the new construction specialist and the president of the EXP Young Professional here in Atlanta, Georgia. How you doing, Eden?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, welcome to the show. And I can't forget my team lead with Page Properties team, Bradford Page.
Hey, Joshua, always good to be here and real excited to hear your story, Eden, and about EXP and young professionals, and excited that Joshua has decided to join up and participate with your organization as well. So,
For sure, for sure. A huge accomplishment for me. So let's get started. Eden, again, my name is Josh Ringham, your five-star realtor. However, Eden, can you share your journey and how you became involved in the real estate industry, particularly in new construction?
Absolutely. So my journey honestly started back when I was 15 years old. My mom is a realtor as well. She's with EXP. She's an icon agent. So
Okay.
I've been involved in the real estate industry since I was 15. I've helped my mom out kind of in an assistant capacity since then. And a lot of people ask me like, hey, Eden, are you going to go into like the family business? Or are you going to follow in your mom's footsteps? And for a long time, I was like, no, like I don't want to do that. There was even one point where somebody asked me, oh, are you going to become a realtor? And I said, I can't think of anything worse. And I was
Yeah.
about 17 at the time. And then, I went to college and I originally went for music production. That was my passion. And so I studied that for a little while. And then my passions changed. You get older, you discover new things that you like. And so then my career kind of changed towards pre law. And so I did that for a little while. And then, COVID hit in 2020 and everything just kind of flipped upside down for me and for everyone in general. And I really took a hard look at my life and I said, is this what I want to do? Is this going to get me to where I want to be in life? And my goal has always been to be um, financially secure. And I wanted to be financially secure to a point that I could help other people.
Yeah.
So that's my main passion in life is to like help other people. And although, law is a great field, it's a great way to be very financially secure, it wasn't going to allow me the flexibility that I wanted in life because, I still want to be able to be a mom one day and I want to be able to have that flexibility to work and have a career and a family. And at the end of the day, law just didn't really align with what I wanted for my life. Um, so COVID hit and I'm, looking at a bunch of different majors, a bunch of different fields that I can go into.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like entrepreneurship and business just really like piqued my interest. And that felt more fitting to me than really anything else. But I was looking at changing my major and it would have taken me, an additional 4 years in college
Mhm.
to get this degree for a career that I wasn't even sure that I was going to like, that I was going to be interested in. And so during COVID, I actually dropped out of college and I got my real estate license. Um,
Wow. Okay.
yeah, so that was in 2021. I got my real estate license. So
Okay.
since then, I've been a full-time realtor. I have actually since gone back to school just to finish my degree because I was too
Yeah.
close to not finish. I wanted it for personal accomplishment. But that's kind of how I got into real estate. So long story short, here I am. I am an independent agent, but I do work closely with my mom. So if y'all have met us at conferences, you probably know we're your Georgia referral partners, Holly and Eden.
Sure. Again, in Atlanta, Georgia, and really music. I would have never known. What was your specialty? Like, was there like a special instrument in high school that you played, or how did
No,
you get into
honestly, just the
music?
production side. So I wanted to be an audio engineer. So
Okay.
basically a producer and
So
just,
Yeah.
push
you
all
know,
those switches, huh?
exactly. Yeah,
Pushing P.
No, that's
exactly.
So
awesome.
look,
I'm jump in. I hear, your background, really qualifies you to be a great agent.
yeah.
Music, you got to produce things, right? You got to be creative, make all that stuff happen. And law, that certainly plays into what we do. My degree was in psychology, and
Yeah, mine was
I
sociology.
had no idea I was going to do real estate, but I'll tell you what, that's a valuable tool as well. So, and then you've been doing this basically since you were 15 with and found out what I'm curious, what made you kind of negative? I have my thoughts, but what gave you kind of a negative aspect of being a real estate agent? And then how did that transform to have you make the adjustment?
Yeah. So, when you're 15, that's very different from when you're 24 and just the perspective you have on life and the world. And, I would always go with my mom to like her open houses or her showings or just like help her with paperwork and stuff. I saw a lot of the back end of like her speaking with her clients and just the emotional toll that her clients kind of took on the whole deal, and how emotional they got about it and how a lot of times that she had to be kind of like their therapist to help walk them through the deal. And for me, like I'm somebody who's very business oriented. Like I love people, I love networking, love making friends. But I also, when it comes to a business deal, I really focus on here's what's at hand, here's the deal, here's what we need to do to get it done. And so for me at 15, like looking at how she was having to be this therapist for people, that seemed like more than I could handle at the time. 15-year-old, what do you know about life? um, but as I got older and as I went through college, I learned a lot about people and about myself. I learned a lot about networking and just the value of relationships. And so I think as I got older, I saw it in a different way. Like, yes, you do sometimes have to be a therapist for people. And like, this is a big transaction for them. This is the biggest transaction that they will probably ever have in their life is purchasing a home. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of emotions involved. But it's our job as realtors to be educated and to educate our clients on the process to help put them at ease. And so that was something that I don't think I realized at 15 is just like the all encapsulating process of real estate and what all is involved in the human aspect.
Yeah. And
Um,
who wants to spend their Saturday afternoons hanging around with mom at an open house,
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
So for me,
I get it.
right. So for me, it felt like there was a lot of like freedom that wasn't involved in real estate because it just seemed like she was, constantly working with her clients, taking calls, doing open houses. And so for me at the time, I felt like that didn't align with what I wanted in life. And then as you go through college and you start looking at jobs and interviewing and looking at the realities of like a 9 to 5 corporate job, you realize that that is actually that doesn't offer you any freedom whatsoever. And I know a lot of people joke about, I didn't want to work my 9 to 5, so I got into real estate. Now I work 24/7, which is kind of
Right.
true sometimes, but it also offers us a lot of flexibility that we wouldn't have in other careers. I'm able to go on a work trip for 4 days and meet a bunch of people who are going to help me become the best version of myself. But I'm also able to still take calls from clients, still work from anywhere in the world with real estate. And that wouldn't be possible with any other career.
For
Yeah,
sure.
we have
Especially
some
with
great
EXP.
conventions, don't we?
Yeah.
We do.
So, Eden, what are your goals and aspirations for the future, both in the real estate career and within the EXP Young Professional Group?
Yeah, that's a good question. There are definitely a lot of goals that I have, and I think our goals are always changing too as we grow and evolve as people.
Mhm.
One of my primary goals, I would say, just in real estate and like personally, is I want to be financially secure. So financial security looks different for everyone. For me, that means having a house that's completely paid off, having a car that's completely paid off, not having debt, and having some income properties as well. For me, it also means eventually long term having properties that I can pass down to my kids, not having to worry about if I'm going to be able to pay for groceries or pay for a vacation. So, just really having financial security in that aspect is a huge goal of mine that I want to accomplish through real estate. And then, as far as the young professionals, we've got a lot of goals. Joshua, you know this. We talk about it
Yeah.
in our meetings. But ultimately, we want to empower realtors. We want to empower them to become the best version of themselves that they can be. So we want to teach them everything that they can know about real estate. We want to help them grow personally in their leadership skills, in their interpersonal skills, everything that real estate encompasses. And also, I feel like real estate is one of the few careers where you really have to work on every aspect of yourself to be the best that you can be at your job. So, we don't just focus on real estate specific things when we're helping our agents. We talk about, for instance, we just had dry January. So that's a mental thing that people also struggle with. So we talk about mental issues, we talk about health issues,
Mhm.
book clubs, anything and everything that you can think of that might pertain to your life. That's what we're trying to help people develop in and just become the best version of themselves.
That's
I get
awesome.
a quick question about the young professionals and how it all relates with EXP. So you're a chapter within obviously you're an EXP agent, but is everybody in your young professional groups, are they all EXP agents? Because I know young professionals network crosses over all brokerages.
Yeah, so the National Association of Realtors has their Young Professionals Network. We are different from that. So within EXP, we have our diversity, equity, and inclusion branch, basically. And that's the DEI branch. And within that, we have one EXP. One EXP kind of oversees all the different resource groups. So we have the Young Professionals, we have the Pride Network, we have the Ben Network. So we have something for everyone, but we're kind of under that umbrella. So the EXP Young Professionals are specifically for just EXP agents, but a lot of the events that we do open up to all young professionals because our main goal is to build community and help people grow. And we don't think that's limited to just EXP.
Are you also affiliated with the realtor with the NAR young professionals as well then, or?
We are not. We are separate from
Okay.
NA.
All right. Good to know.
Yeah, yeah. So, Eden, what advice would you give a young professional who inspires to build their careers in real estate, especially in new construction? Because that's what you specialize in, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So my advice would be just go for it. Like you have one life, and life is too short to not go after your dreams fully. And you may not know exactly what your dream is yet. You may not know exactly what the end goal is yet, but run full steam ahead towards whatever your current goal is and let it be okay if that goal develops and changes over time because you're going to change over time as a person. And so naturally, your goals and dreams are going to change with it. But don't just stay stagnant. Run after a dream, whatever it may be. Give yourself the grace for it to change. Give yourself the grace to be able to fail because that's how you learn.
Mhm.
Surround yourself with really good people who are going to be there to support you, support your dreams, and just go for it.
Yeah, that's an awesome answer. Awesome. And can you discuss some challenges that new construction projects face, and how did you overcome them?
Absolutely. So I think the number one challenge that we face in new construction is just lining up the dates for
Okay.
everyone to make it happen. If you have a client who's looking at selling their home before they're able to purchase this new construction home, we don't always have a solid date that the new construction home is going to be ready to move into. So
Mhm.
I think open communication with the client, with you, the agent, the other sales rep, and then the builder, just a lot of open communication amongst you all is really what's going to help you overcome that challenge of the timing,
Mhm.
and just working together, figuring out the date, figuring out kind of an estimate of when the house is going to be done. And if the house is going to be done this day, then you need to get your house on the market by this day. So just a lot of open communication.
What
Okay.
kind of things do you do to focus on new construction? Tell us a little bit about why you chose to make that a focus for you.
Yeah, so for me, I actually ended up doing mostly new construction because a lot of my clients were looking for things that they just weren't able to find through resale homes. So we would go out and look, and they'd be like, I like this, but this just isn't quite there for me, or, I'd like this to be bigger. And we ended up looking at new construction homes a lot of the time, and they were able to find everything that they wanted, often with really great incentives. And a lot of times they were also able to choose different finishes for their homes. So they were able to choose the flooring, the paint color, the countertop, and they weren't able to do that in resale. So they had a lot more customization available, a lot more flexibility, incredible rate buy downs, incredible closing costs covered by the builder and the lender. It just made a lot more financial sense for them to do new construction. And so that's kind of how I ended up doing a lot of new construction, purely based off my clients and their needs.
Do you market yourself in that niche?
I do. I do market myself as a new construction specialist. I also will like run Facebook ads targeted towards new construction. So I've had some pretty good success with that.
Nice.
Awesome. Awesome. And can you share a particular memorable or rewarding experience you had about working in the new construction industry?
Yeah. Honestly, the deal I'm working right now has been very, very rewarding. They're first time home buyers. They're a younger couple. They have 3 kids. They just had a baby. And we started looking actually when they only had 2 kids.
Okay.
And they were, just wanting to move here to Georgia. They wanted warmer weather. They just wanted a different life for their kids than what they currently have out west. So we started looking at new construction homes, and the wife found everything that she wanted in this new construction home. She was absolutely blown away with the quality, with how beautiful it was, with the finishes that she was going to be able to choose for herself. And seeing them get so excited about buying this home, like it's a beautiful home, and it's also their first home that they've ever bought. And
Mhm.
seeing their excitement, like you can't help but feel excited for them. And they're so excited about every step of the process. I'll go out to their home every single week, and I'll take pictures and videos for them, and I'll send it over to them. And they're just like ecstatic about it. They're sharing their pictures with their friends and family, and like planning their furniture and, the kids, how they're going to run around in the backyard. So seeing them excited has definitely made me more excited for them in the process. And there's nothing more rewarding than when you see somebody who's truly happy about the house they're getting.
Yeah, you've definitely found your passion, and I don't think it's certainly a lot more exciting than working in your law books or sitting in front of a judge, or seeing somebody guilty or not guilty or whatever things you choose to do in law. But the excitement of putting a new buyer into a home that they've just been working for forever and never had that, and the joy that they bring to it, that experience is a, a rush you don't get in any other business. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you've definitely chosen the right field and obviously loving what you do.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
So you have all this energy, right? So how do you stay motivated in your inspired roles, especially when you face difficult challenges?
Honestly, at the end of the day, bringing it all back to people. And the reason why I'm doing it is because
Mhm.
of people. So in my real estate career, like I want to help people get into a home that they love. I want to make sure that they're informed on the process, that they're making a good financial decision for them and for their families, and just remembering that at the end of the day, this is about the client, this is about helping them, and I'm here to serve them. That's what really keeps me motivated in the real estate aspect. And then as far as like the young professionals aspect, again, remembering that it's not about me, because there can be a lot of times that like you have a lot of things pile up, you got a lot of meetings coming, a lot of big decisions that you got to make. It can feel kind of overwhelming, but being able to sit down and look at the incredible group that we have and saying, hey, what is the best decision for all of these people? What's going to benefit most of them? That's really what keeps me grounded, is like, this is not about you. This is about how you can serve other people, how you can impact them and impact their lives. And I think also remembering that sometimes the greatest impact that we have on people is not about the direct impact that we have on them. It can be about the impact that they're going to have on other people. So I can make a decision that it may be really, really good for our team of 60 people. And the greatest impact that I have may not be that direct impact it has on them. It might be about, you, Joshua, you learn something during one of our meetings and you take that, you internalize it, you become a better person from it. And then you go out and you affect 10 other people positively and you changed their lives. And it's kind of the ripple effect. So remembering that everything that we're doing is so much bigger than just ourselves, about any title that we could have, any recognition we have, any panel that we could ever be on. So much bigger than that. It's the bigger picture, and we're affecting people hopefully for generations to come.
That's awesome. That's
Now,
awesome.
now we understand why you and your mom chose EXP.
You know?
Exactly.
So I have I don't know if I asked this question, but let me know if I did. But what advice would you give a young professional who is aspiring to build their career in real estate? Did I ask that already?
I'm so sorry, you cut out for a moment. Would you mind
Oh,
repeating that?
sorry, my internet. Hold on, y'all. So, did I ask what advice would you give a young professional who's aspiring to be in the real estate industry?
I would just say go for it, chase your
Yeah,
dreams. But also I think, I don't know if I touched on this already, but I think make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people who fully
yeah,
believe in you.
yes.
There's a lot of days in real estate that you can doubt yourself and doubt your abilities and doubt whether or not you're meant to do this. And the people that you have surrounding you can make or break you in those situations. So, of course, it's great to have people around you who are, encouraging you and cheering you on when you're at the top of your game and when you're winning. Like,
Mhm.
that's not hard for people to do, to cheer you on when you're winning. But I think finding people who are going to remind you of your potential and your success when you're at your lowest, that's what really matters. Look at the people who are surrounding you and building you up and saying, hey, you're not going to be in this pity party. You're not going to lay in bed all day. You're going to get out of bed. You're going to go out there. You're going to call those leads. Like, you're a great realtor. You need to remember who you are, and you need to have people around you who remind you of who you are. We actually dealt with a case like this a couple weeks ago with one of our members, and he was looking at his savings and he was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to be in real estate much longer. Like, I haven't had a transaction in a while. And so he was actually looking at quitting real estate. And so we got on a call with him and we were just like, hey, you got into real estate for a reason. You're beyond capable. You're an incredible realtor. You're just in a funk right now. You need to like remember who you are, remember that you're capable, like get out there, go do some open houses, call some people, like just get back into the groove of it. So he got back into the groove of it. He went and hosted 2 open houses that weekend and he got a couple clients and he was back in it. Like, he was
Yeah.
ready to go, had some solid buyers. So surrounding yourself with people who are going to remind you of your purpose and why you're there, I think is so important.
Now,
That's
I'm
awesome.
willing to bet you're a reader.
I am.
So, and you probably heard of this book, but I think it's one that people really need to go through is Who Not How.
Yes, I love that book. It's one of my
So
favorites.
it's so important because as individual entrepreneurs, I've been doing this since '03. Sometimes we get trapped into just trying to do it all ourselves or trying to figure out that we've got to have the answers. And what a revelation when you realize that it's not about you necessarily by yourself. I mean, ultimately, you're responsible for yourself, but it's about who you connect with. So you obviously laid into that pretty heavy. So it didn't surprise me that you knew Dan Sullivan's book. So
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorite books. I recommend it to everyone. And that's honestly like a big philosophy that I have within the young professionals, is reminding each other that like, hey, you may be good at this, but someone else may be great at it. And it's okay to like give that responsibility to them and delegate that task, because if we're here trying to build something bigger than any one of us, we're not looking at who gets the credit for a specific task. We're looking at how we can impact the most amount of people in the most efficient way. And so I think just really reminding each other that, like, hey, we all have different skills, and that's what makes us a great team. Like, there is no competition between us whatsoever. We're here to build each other up and to help each other be successful in these different, crazy, wild ideas that we have that are going to make a big impact on people.
Yeah, yeah. And last question, how can the people get in touch with you, Eden?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So y'all can first and foremost connect with me on Instagram at Sold by Eden. I'm on there every day. You know, who isn't? But y'all can also email me soldbyeden@gmail.com. Or if you want to text me, 404-341-8848. I'm always available. I love to talk to new people and I love to make friends.
Awesome, awesome. You got any more questions, Bradford, for?
Oh, just no, thank you so much for your time. I think we
Yeah,
could probably continue talking for hours
for sure.
because you're definitely someone that we want to go side by side on this journey. And I'm excited that Joshua's got connected with you and your organization and taking a leadership role and jumping in and helping support that. I think it speaks to everything we talked about today. So.
For sure, for sure. And again, everybody, thank y'all so much coming on another episode of the Dream Builders podcast. This episode is sponsored by Page Properties Team, the Dream ENT, Real Estate for a Reason, and Make Real Estate Fun Again. Thank you so much. Eden Jeffery was Sold by Eden, the new construction specialist and the president of the EXP Young Professionals in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you so much for giving us this wisdom as we embark on our day. And I cannot wait to connect with you soon.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
No
Yeah, look forward to
problem.
talking to you again.
Y'all be safe and be blessed.
All right, happy selling.
Peace.